The Women's Creative dares their listeners to hurdle their dreams. Tune in to our weekly podcast to hear from individuals who are breaking down barriers, solving problems, and making the world a better place. Hear the stories of these business owners who chose to take the road less traveled. Join us for Not There Yet. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being present with us today. This is another episode of Not There Yet, the Women's Creative Podcast, where we interview incredible women who have taken the road less traveled and aren't there yet. I'm Christina. I'm the co-founder of the Women's Creative.
And I'm Bianca, the Director of Marketing for the Women's Creative.
And we have a really awesome episode for you today.
Oh my goodness.
We're really excited. But before we jump right into telling you who we interviewed and what it was like for us, because we're still reeling a little bit from the experience. The Women's Creative is an organization, a business that works really hard to provide a variety of resources for small women-owned businesses that are launching and growing their work. There are so many ways to get involved with us. We would love for you to jump in any Thursday morning to our free Zoom call, Stronger Than Coffee, where we have a micro lesson every week. We talk a little bit about just really great tips and tricks for how to grow your business and ways to connect with people. We also have an awesome workshop coming up if you're in St. Louis at the end of March called Meet the Media. And big news, we have our storefront called Procure here in St. Louis. You can order anytime online at shopprocure.com. And then we are opening our second location in Tampa at the end of this month, at the beginning of April. So we're super excited. There's so many great ways to get connected. Please follow us along on your journey and join us as we create space for incredible women and their work and their passion. So before we jump in, we're going to roll call.
All right. I'm roll calling Soul Home. It's a new brand in our store Procure. It's a candle that smells amazing. And the actual candle holder is concrete and it's beautiful and it's handcrafted. So that's what we're smelling today.
Sarita, who makes those, is amazing. I snuck a little bit of bijou chocolate at lunch today and it was a gift. Maggie, who is the chocolatier at Bijou Chocolate, does an incredible job and it's a real treat. So you can get those at shopprocure.com, at our stores, or on their individual websites. So those two brands for Soul Home and Bijou Chocolate. We love to roll call some great businesses, small businesses that are doing incredible things. If you have someone or know of someone you want us to shout out, feel free to message us and let us know. And we are going to jump into introducing our guest. And I just don't even know, like drum roll, like.
Okay, I'll start this.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. We're back this week with another episode of Not There Yet. And this week we chatted with the Danessa Myricks. Oh,
yes, we did.
My goodness, the conversation we had.
It was pretty amazing.
It was,
okay, she's a big deal. If you don't know who she is, Google her right now or go find her Instagram, because what she has accomplished is mind-blowing. And the fact that she really did it with a lot of determination and an open heart and a willingness to constantly be learning, she is inspirational to the next level. So, okay, her skincare products and her makeup is amazing.
Beautiful. And the biggest goal that she is accomplishing and has already accomplished is producing and providing a skincare line that accommodates all skin tones, all skin types, and making women feel really comfortable and confident when they wear it. And so, even looking at her on this interview was like, not just how she looks, and she's beautiful, but her spirit through the camera, I think spoke to like really who she is and her why, which was a huge part of the conversation, her intent and purpose behind what she does and drives what she does, which is why she's gotten to be so successful.
Yeah. No, she was amazing. And I think in an industry that is so cutthroat, that is so about the numbers and about production, and really has in many ways probably lost its soul, she is stepping in and giving a really big why. And it is so much more than just making your skin look right or not ever aging. Some of the things that she did not say in this interview are almost what stuck out the most to me. Yep. There was nothing fake about what she shared. Like, it wasn't about never aging. It wasn't about being someone who you aren't. It was all about bringing out your inner beauty and about how she just finds so much joy in not necessarily who people become when their makeup is done, but their just like confidence and inner glow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
It truly is. And we even had a special guest.
Okay, yeah, we did a thing.
We got a special guest. We'll let you all listen to it, but we got a special guest who is well known in our city, but who is a huge fan of Dynessa and really spoke to her passion. And it was like the moment they met each other, it was a gift. It was a gift. It was truly amazing. So yeah.
It was really cool. So, I mean, Danessa is definitely the first person that we have had who has really significant national recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And we felt like it was very important as we were interviewing her, as we were thinking about what are we going to talk to her about, or how are we going to approach this? How are we going to really handle this? You know, we didn't want to overlook the fact that there are countless incredible, powerful, magical people who use her products and are using her products to build their own work. And so we got to bring in somebody who uses her products every day and is a huge fan of her to introduce her and to kind of share. We hope you'll really receive the true impact that Danessa has made on so many people in the hair and makeup community through the special guest who's at the beginning. So, okay, we're not going to share anymore.
Not too much.
We've obviously been so positively impacted by this conversation. We think you're going to be too. So hang on tight, because here's an incredible conversation with the one and only Danessa Myricks.
All right, enjoy.
The Women's Creative couldn't be more excited to record our weekly podcast at Shock City Studios. Their large format studio specializes in music, podcasts, and audiobooks. If you're looking for a space for you, call Shock City Studios.
All right. Hey, everybody. We are so excited to be with you today. We have an incredibly special guest with us. We are honored to have her. I'm Christina. I'm the co-founder of the Women's Creative.
And I am Bianca Fitzpatrick. I am the marketing director of the Women's Creative.
Yeah, we're joined today with Danessa Myricks, and we are so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, it's such an honor to have your time. So we thought it would be kind of fun to kick off this episode with a little surprise guest.
Okay.
And I'm going to let Bianca introduce her, and then we're going to let her into the Zoom to say hello.
Okay.
Okay, so Khadijah is a makeup artist native to St. Louis, and she has had an impeccable impact on our community and just the sweetest heart. And she is a huge, huge fan of Danessa. So we thought it was only appropriate to add her into this conversation. So we are about to.
I'm so excited.
We're going to bring her in, okay?
Okay.
Khadijah?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Hey. How are you? Look the honor. Oh my God, I'm girly.
Okay.
Beautiful, by the way. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, this is such a blessing. I have manifested you. What in the heck?
Here I am. Are you my new best friend?
Oh my goodness. I am just so grateful. You know, real artists are far few in between these days. And when we get to watch people like yourself journey the way that you have, girl. Woo!
Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. I really appreciate that.
Oh, yes. I'm so grateful. It's such a joy. And thank you so much, Women's Creative Gang, for bringing me on.
Thank you for this incredible energy. Like, you know, I'm always talking to my team and just telling them like this journey has been a long one. A lot of people think that I started yesterday, but literally it's like been 23 years and counting.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's people like you who always keep me juiced, you know, keep me going, right? Who are able to tell my story better than I can say it myself. And, you know, for me as an artist, it's super important for me to have the respect of other artists. Like, I want them to be able to see the artistry in me and know that I'm creating for them. And I just want you to know, just hearing you say what you say, it's not fluff, like really means the world to me. And it just really helps me to know and feel good about the path that I'm on and the path that the brand is on. So just thank you so much.
Please stay on the path. Your innovation alone, the movability, I've been doing this professionally for about 15 years. I used to be a MAC girl. And when I went out on my own, I think my search for innovation was so important when it came to artistry. And shout out to Susie Gorman, the photographer. She was the last person I feel like that gave me a growth spurt in my artistry because she still shoots raw and natural. She doesn't use all the filters. And she called me to her editing station and she said, I love your makeup, but you're not going to make it if you need too much Photoshop. And so she grew me. And then when I discovered your makeup line and your path as an artist, and I saw how much attention you paid to texture and how much emphasis you put on skin-like products, and even down to just like the iridescent elements. Like I love all the transitions and things that you use in all your collections. And when I say it has blessed me so much,
that excites me.
Yeah, it has blessed me so much. Look, sometimes I'll be in between blessing. You know, you Sephora gang now. And I can't get everything, but I insist. Right now I'm in love with the Yummy Bomb.
Yay!
And I love me a good cream to powder or just a movable cream with a matte finish. And so, yeah, let me stop. I'm not even.
My face is hurting. I'm grinning so hard. Like, I'm gonna need to take a muscle relaxer after this to soften the tension in my cheeks. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Man,
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Y'all tight. I'm gonna have to squeeze your cheek.
Khadijah, we love you. And I was just telling Danessa just how much people, I don't even St. Louis, not just as an artist, but just as a person, as a Black woman, like your energy and just anybody that's around you feels the love and feels the support. And so, you know, I would love to do more of this. And I'm so happy this happened.
Same.
You.
Add me to the list of people who love Khadijah and her energy. Like, yeah. We'll never forget Khadijah. Just saying. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I
need 1,000 more Khadijahs. Like,
this ain't the last time you heard from me. Look, I'm one of the understudies. Look, take me. Take me. But no, thank you all so much. You definitely got the right person, her energy. I have been one of those people following her from the beginning. And she was probably somewhere similar to where I am now. But when she started taking clients, working, doing tutorials, monetizing and doing all of that. And then I saw her keep going until she got her yes. And now she's creating yes for other people. And I'm so honored and I'm so proud and happy for you on your journey.
You so much.
I'm very excited for what's next for you and for the artist community.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, you guys. All right, awesome. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Pleasure to meet you.
Okay, we felt like that was just a really great way to kick this off.
Yes.
Well, you were right.
Wasn't that just the best, like, beginning energy?
Yeah, she's incredible.
She is incredible. All right. Now that you've had like the intro of all intros, we are really excited to hear your story.
Yeah, my story is an interesting one, I think. I think it's different than what people expect. Like I often tell people I'm an accidental everything, literally an accidental makeup artist who turned into an accidental product developer, who turned into an accidental photographer. I think more than anything, I was just somebody who really was searching for fulfillment in my day-to-day. I was working in corporate, and like many people, I was displaced from my job. And this was at 30, a single mom with 2 kids. And at that moment, I had an opportunity to rethink, like, you know, what my career path would look like. And so there were a few things that I decided right off the bat is that I wanted to have more control. Like, you know, somebody being able to end your income, like in a sentence, is not a comfortable place to be. And I really wanted to be in control of my destiny. That was one of my decisions. And then 2, I wanted to be creative. I wanted to be super excited about waking up every day. I wanted to like be excited about what I could create in a day. And I think the path that I was on before was more corporate. It was more seeing someone else's vision and bringing their vision to life, which is totally fine. but I knew that I had some things buried deep in my heart that I wanted to see. And I wanted to give myself an opportunity to explore that. So it was a publishing company that I worked at, and they published beauty magazines. And that was my first introduction to makeup artistry and photography. Prior to that, that was not my world at all. I was a super nerd who never wore makeup really. And when I did wear makeup, it was blue eyeliner, because my mother told me way back when that blue eyeliner makes brown eyes pop. And that was really like my jam. I didn't understand really the mechanics of beauty at all. But I spent so much time watching photo shoots come to life in this environment where I was working. And the artists would be transforming just regular everyday people, hair and makeup. And I would just see just how the people changed after that experience, right? And it's not so much that they left looking like a glamazon. It's just how they changed from the inside, like how they lit up, after this experience. And I thought that that was pretty powerful, and how cool it would be to be able to impact somebody in that way. And then secondly, just the artistry of it all was inspiring for me. Just, the ability to transform in that way is, felt like magic for me. And I wanted to get a piece of it. And I think the third thing, the people who were working, the artists, they were all independent. They all wore what they wanted, wear their hair the way they wanted. They had their own unique style. They could take jobs or not. That freedom was like intoxicating to me. So when I was told that, this job is ending, the prospect of all of that outweighed any fear I had at that moment. You know what I mean? So I just decided to proclaim I'm a makeup artist, not knowing how to do it and not having any of it. But I spent a lot of time reading. I'm 52. When I started 23 years ago, like it wasn't anything like it is right now. The landscape was very different. You can't just open up your computer and learn everything that you want to know, from people doing makeup. So I taught myself. I flipped through magazines. I searched for the people that people said were iconic in the worlds of beauty. And it was the Sam Fine and the Kevin Aucoin that really resonated with me. And I just spent a lot of time just trying to figure out what makes their work look and feel different than most. And I really developed my aesthetic just through looking at images and practicing on myself. I volunteered for well over a year until somebody actually decided that I was worthy of being paid. And that's really where my career kicked off. And then I journeyed into just all the things that Khadijah said, taking on private clients, doing step-by-step tutorials. There was an audience of hairstylists who I was able to tap into, who really wanted to know how to do makeup for brides. And so I spent a lot of time just teaching them how they don't have to send their brides away to somebody else and just bring more money back to them and their family. And it just really grew from there. And when I realized my time did not allow for me to teach every single hairstylist one-on-one, in the room that I was teaching my group sessions, it outgrew that. And so I decided to do something very different and do tutorials on DVD. And I know a lot of people don't even know what a DVD is or have ever seen one in their life, but it did exist in my day. So I created a series of DVDs. It was about 20 or 21 of them when it was all said and done. They were about 2 hours long. And that's what I sold as a business at the start of my career. But it was through those DVDs that I started to get invitations to teach on a grander scale at hair shows first. And then at those hair shows, brands would come up to me and say, well, you must be an expert. Do you have these series of DVDs and you're teaching these classes? Do you do any work with product? And of course, the answer is always yes, even when in reality it's no. I said yes. And that was the beginning of me having a career in product development. And I've developed products for lots of brands, from drugstore brands, beauty supply store brands, to even prestige. And I had a career of teaching around the world, developing products, consulting. And then I got to a point where I knew, just in the conversations and the work that I was doing for other brands, there were still things that are missing. My artistry and energy was missing. There were a lot of people who weren't being captured in the conversations that were being told. And I just decided to step out on faith and tell my own story. And that's where Danessa Myricks Beauty was born. And it's been a very long journey. My overnight success has really been 23 years. And here we are. Your
story is so inspiring because you power through everything. Like the things that would have gotten somebody down or would have completely discouraged anybody, you saw it as an opportunity. And that's really encouraging because, and especially I'm always thinking about the listeners, and a lot of them are younger or millennials. Right. Oftentimes we get things handed to us, or because we have access to so much information, we can just go do it. But that concept of just hard work and perseverance and just whatever faith you had in yourself or in a higher power, you just took it and ran with it.
Thank you for that.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. I think, what I've discovered when because often people say that, and I think, even now, you mentioned the young people who maybe the landscape is a little different and they can kind of get there a lot faster. I think for all of us, whether you're like me or in that space, it's really about having a why, right? And for me, I think the movement in my career and the journey was continuously pushed forward because my why just kept getting bigger and bigger. In the beginning, it was just like mother, feed 2 kids, need cash to get food, right? That's a
motivator, though.
Yeah, that was definitely a motivator, right? But then as people are eating, then it's what, right? And I think, the reason for what I was doing just continued to get bigger and bigger as I journeyed through. And I think the bigger your why is, the bigger your capacity becomes, right? And we hear stories all the time about, just the average person doing something extraordinary. And it's simply the baseline of it all is that there was a why that was so strong enough that gave them the strength, the energy, the idea, the capacity to move the needle and, create change. And I think for me now, as, because it's hard along the way, the whole time, right? But even now, it's still super, super hard. But I think what I'm looking to do right now is to use beauty as a way to connect the hearts and minds of people globally. And for me, that's a really big purpose. I want to create change through beauty. And I've seen it happen throughout my travels around the world. And I know that it is something that works and that, you can definitely get people who may be of a different race, people of a different religion, socioeconomic background, all to connect on a lipstick or all to connect on a color. And it's pretty powerful and extraordinary that we can do that. And so, that's where I am right now with the hopes of continuing to be able to do more. And then hearing somebody like Khadijah, and thank you for bringing her on, and just hearing where she's at, and I can just hear the passion in her voice and in her body and know that she has a pretty strong why too. And the people that surround her have identified it. And so it's easy to see. So yeah, we all can do it. As soon as we figure out the reason why, everything else kind of falls into place,
Well, it's funny how, and we talk about this a lot, how community and that connection with people, whether it's the people that you're working for or people who come along to help you,
absolutely,
or just collab with you, make it all so possible.
Absolutely.
And something we love about what you've done and what you've built are all the collaborations and the connections that you've made over the years. So we thought it would be fun to ask, what are some of your favorite, or what do you feel like have been the most successful collaborations, whether they're with someone small or a smaller group or a celebrity, or which ones stick out for you? Which ones have been the most fun or most productive?
Well, I think throughout my journey, where most of my inspiration has come from is other artists in beauty. I think first having the ability to collaborate with photographers changed everything for me. And it's very interesting to hear Khadijah say what she said, because it was a photographer that groomed me too, that really sharpened my eye, allowed me to play and would make time to just play and create with me. And also, blow up an image 300% and say, look at that eyelash, it's the details. So I think my journey really began with like a really strong collaboration with a photographer. His name is Eric Von Lockhart. I love him very dearly. He's the reason why this all began. I think secondly, hairstylists have been an extraordinary part. They played a big part in just raising the bar, my level of creativity, because hairstylists, they can do a thing. And if you ever been to the Bronner Brothers show, which is where I grew up in beauty, you understand like the levels that hair can go. There was one particular hairstylist, even to this day, she inspires me so much. Her name is Janelle Seeley Smith. And like you give her 5 minutes and a milk carton and a pack of hair and she can make anything happen. She's extraordinary. very. So collaborating with her for these last, I would say, a good 15 years has been like a blessing for me. She continues to inspire me. So I think photographers and hairstylists have been a big part of it.
I love it. Okay, so getting into the makeup that you create and that you produce, from fair to deep complexions, you've always aimed to touch all faces equally. We love that. So tell us a bit more about that process.
Right. I think it goes back to first, my experience as a dark-skinned Black woman. That was one of my biggest struggles from the beginning of time, which is one of the reasons why I didn't wear makeup, is because there was nothing for me. I was never considered. And even when I was considered, it wasn't in a thoughtful way. And so it's not just about foundation, it's about everything. When you don't create with enough pigment, not everybody can enjoy it, right? There's only a certain subset of the community who can. So it's always been a struggle for me personally. But even in my career of consulting and working with other brands, I've seen a lot of people not be considered in the conversation, and a lot of stories just that aren't being told. So again, that was one of the reasons that I was like, well, if I see this, one thing that I say to myself all the time, I think Mother Teresa or Gandhi, one of the two, said it, be the change you want to see in the world, right? So it's like we can scream, like, do something, change your ways, or we can just, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to show you what's possible. And for me, Danessa Myricks Beauty is about showing the beauty world, period, like what's possible. And like you say that it's not possible to do this, to, create for everyone, to satisfy everyone, to capture everyone in your storytelling. And I'm going to show you that it is. And that's really the mission that we have as a brand. It's like, we're not going to tell you what you should do. We're going to show you that it's possible. And I really do believe that our brand is really all about dreaming, and it's all about expressing possibility and possibility for everyone.
And that's amazing, because from our perspective, we see that impact. I mean, you've been making that impact on people all over the world. So what's next for you, if anything? Like, is it just continuing to go down this path and just continue to spread that message? Or is there a new goal that you have? Is there a new why that you have?
I think with every day, there's always more, right? The more that the brand grows and the more that I see opportunity just for me as a person on this planet, there's so much work to be done, right? So now as an entrepreneur, we have a brand and we're in Sephora and we're growing, then I have an opportunity to build my team, to mentor more people, to change the landscape of what a corporate environment can look like. And there's so much more. Like, I went to a conference put on by Meta the other day, and they said something that really it resonated with me. I couldn't even sleep, that, the goal has always been to have women, treated with equity, between men. And at the rate that we're going, it's going to take another 300 years for us to be like the 300 years. I'm like, wait, what? And so the only way to change that is that right now, like, women have to be lifting each other up, supporting each other, like, taking their hand and pulling them up. Like, we have to do it for each other, right? So, being able to do that on a grander scale, mentor and help others, that's a big part of what I want to do. And I think in order for me to do it successfully, I have to be successful. Another thing that always sticks with me is that I know that people need to often see it before they can believe that they can be it. And for a lot of people, I know that they see me and it makes them believe, right? So the longer I can go and the bigger I can go, the more value it's going to create for so many people. Like, not everybody's going to be a rock star or an athlete or whatever that can create instant impact, and have some influence, right? But somebody can just see me, an average person, a single mom with 2 kids, who's slow and steady when it continues to move forward, and hopefully one day will win the race. I believe that can have impact on a grand scale. So there's so much work to be done, right? And I just want to continue to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah, you're in it for the long run.
Your determination and perseverance is inspiring,
It really is.
Really next level. I can't tell you how powerful it is to see someone who you inspire us. Like, I feel
Thank
like
you. Oh my gosh. Thank
clouds
you.
of women who are watching what you're doing and exactly what you're wanting and what you're saying is happening as you're just working and being yourself and putting your brand out there. So thank you. Thank you for what you do. Yes. And what you put out into the world, it means so much. We're going to wrap it with just a little bit lighter question.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite beauty tips, the products we cannot miss right now. What are your recommendations?
Well, I can only pick from a very small subset, my world.
That's right. Your products that we cannot miss right now. Let's be straight.
I think like I'm all about a one and done, instant result. Keep it simple. Blurring Balm powder, I would recommend to everyone walking the earth, whether you're new to makeup or whether you're a super pro, it's going to change your life. It's like magic in a bottle, instant blurring, instant perfecting of the skin, looking super natural, best version of yourself, 100%. So there's that.
Okay, we're all going out to buy it right now. Okay, already.
Literally, yeah.
Taking notes. Be like,
And then when it comes to color fix is one of the first products that I ever made for the brand. And it still continues after all these years to be our number one selling product. It's that one and done, a little tube of pigment. That's the hardest working tube that you'll ever have in your life. Use it all over your face. Use it with your complexion. It's shadow, it's brow, it's liner, it's lip, it's cheek. It's everything that you can imagine. And it comes in 5 incredible finishes. So you can live your best beauty life just in the Color Fix collection. So those would be my 2.
all right.
Amazing.
Well, we heard it right from the source. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, well, this has been incredible.
Yeah.
Your time is so valuable, and that you gave some of it to us is an incredible gift. So thank you.
No, I feel honored that you guys even thought that I was worthy of the conversation and that you gave me the opportunity to connect with more people, because that's what's important to me. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of your platform and to experience your audience.
Thank you, Danessa.
Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in to Not There Yet. These are stories of women in our community who have taken the road less traveled and haven't quite made it there. They've still got big dreams. So you have heard it from us and heard it from Dynessa today. Go out and buy some of her beauty products, and we hope you were inspired by her story. Thank you so much for tuning in.